What's up, SNA fans? Sorry about the 6 minute delay. It's because of my laptop being so stubborn right now and stupid as well. Like usually it acts like this sometimes, like when it doesn't have any stable internet connected to the to inside the webcam. But yeah, back here with another video on a very interesting AEW Dynamite on the road to AEW Revolution. And yeah, they were bringing up big business through time to time, which that's like 3 weeks from now. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below and what your thoughts onto that. And we all know who exactly going to be making big business with the All Elite Jacksonville-based company. But yeah, that's a story for another day. But without further ado, let's start off on the tonight's AEW Dynamite on February 21st with the second match of the night, which I have two reasons why it's the second. Expected it would have ended, and two, the match in the main event was genuinely gonna get the number one spot because it was very entertaining and it tells a story about not only for the triple threat between Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page, but also tells a story with Hook and what Brian Cage's one-on-one issues as well with them. They're trying to rip off each other's heads off respectively, just like the two number one contenders for Samoa Joe's AEW World Championship, which I think on this coming Wednesday or next week's Dynamite on the Go Home show, they should do like a tag team match for that alone. Like that probably would definitely be the number one match of the night as well. Like if they scheduled to do so. But anyway, this is where we got FTR taking on the 2/4 of the Blackpool Combat Club. Cash Wheeler starting things off until Cash Wheeler brought him right back first into the ground. This is where he tripped him over. This is where he tags in Dax Harwood. This is where they did a double, I'll say a double split right on to Carl Castagnoli's legs, which shouldn't be stretched, and nearly split open his crotch area. This is where Uncle Dax put him right in the upper right corner. This is where he started hitting a knife edge chop, trying to fight for the fourth place spot for Gunther's envy. Gunther's envy list, not Evie, like where that even came from. But this is where Claudio Castagnoli got back up, unfazed, like 2 seconds later, hit the big body slam when Dax Harwood was trying to readjust his right shoulder. This is where Claudio was like, he thought that was going to bring me down for good. This is where he tags in Jon Moxley. This is where he starts stomping on the midsection of Dax Harwood because he has a problem with the former AEW World Tag Team Champions from the past couple of weeks as of late. This is where then he puts him right to the lower left corner side. This is where he starts shoving his face and trying to push it back. This is where he starts hitting a knife edge chops of his own, trying to steal that spot. Like, no, that spot belongs to me. Like the number one spot belongs to my best friend, Bryan Danielson. And this is where he started. This is where Dax Harwood was trying to walk away from this horrific horrific knife edge chops. And this is where he started repeatedly the difference and hit the body drop as soon as Jon Moxley bounced right back. This is where Uncle Dax Harwood and Jon Moxley trying to get that fourth place spot until they fight one of the guys, fight Brody King to get the third place spot for Gunther's envy list. This is where Dax Harwood then started going for a suplex right on the Mox. This is where he did the leg drop right onto the Mox. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but Jon Moxley kicks out at 2.4. This is where he tags in his brother, Uncle Cash Wheeler. This is where he does the Irish whip to the right corner side. This is where he hits a right hand to the midsection. This is where he knees him right to the midsection of Moxley. This is where he goes for a suplex right into the middle of the ring. This is where Moxley flips out of it somehow. This is where he tried to go for that rear naked choke, like when he flips out, which he kind of botched it at first, but he managed to make it up and start putting the sleeper on him until Cash Wheeler flips him and throws him right to the bottom corner. This is where Cash Wheeler was like, hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm doing my job to get him off of me, which I did. And this is where the referee's like, okay, you better keep it that way. This is where Jon Moxley was slowly but surely getting back up. Claudio Castagnoli was checking on him, seeing if he was okay, which Jon Moxley confirmed that he was. This is where we got this is where Cash Wheeler and Jon Moxley going head to head. He was like, if anybody has a problem with my brother Dax, they have a problem with me. And then Jon Moxley like, oh really? And this is where Cash was like, but lucky for you, I'm in a generous mood, so I'm gonna let you get right to the ground. That's where then John Moxley grab onto Dax Harwood once he got into the ring. I believe he got tagged in, but this is where he got caught, intercepted by John Moxley, like over a gut wrench. This is where Claudio Castagnoli then started helping out, trying to double team against him. Well, maybe I was mistaken. He wasn't tagged in. This is where, yeah, they double Irish Whip to the right corner side. This is where they try to go for a double team, body drop. But this is where he went right through their legs. This is where he dug down. This is where they got caught by surprise by his brother Cash, which they had the former Ultimate Comeback move of 2023, the crossbody right over them. This is where what's his name? This is where Cash, then he had the drop kick right on the Claudio, while Dax got John Moxley with a drop kick. This is where Cash Wheeler was like, all right, which one do you want to be first next? And this is where Cash Wheeler was like, oh, I know who I should go after. And this is where he started nodding his head like, yeah, like, yes, sir. Go get Mox. And this is where he started hitting some punches and some chops, which I believe, yeah, hoping that Dax Harwood, along with his brother Cash Wheeler, make their way back to WWE as a revival, so he can start hitting some chops of returning the favor, like of provoking him. This is where Claudio Castagnoli came right behind Tournament, was like, all right, got you guys. And then this is where the fans were kind of disappointed. This is where the referee's like, you better stay in your post, Claudio. This is where Claudio was like, okay, I'm going back to my corner. Like, and this is where Cash Wheeler then grabs on the Moxley, pulls him right off when John Moxley do the such 80s moves and all 80s move in all of professional wrestling, the punch right into the right hand to the noggin. But this is where Cash Wheeler did not like what he was doing with his brother, and he started hitting knife edge chops right onto his chest. This is where he throws right back in the ring. This is where John Moxley gets a right forearm right to his face. This is where John Moxley goes for the left corner side. This is where he goes for a suicide dive. But Dax Harwood was show how much of a great brother he is to his kayfabe brother Cash Wheeler, pushing him and sacrificing himself, getting hit with a suicide dive. This is where Cash Wheeler pushes John Moxley face first right on the Simba the Steel steps. This is where Claudio Castagnoli tried to come in. He's like, what you did to my brother? And this is where what's his name? Cash Wheeler was like, hey, like, take it easy there, big dog. And this is where Claudio was like, I'm a Superman and the Cyborg. And that's Superman and Cyborg to you. Like, and the one that formerly known as Big Dog is the reason why I'm here in AEW. And then this is where Cash Wheeler's like, oh, that's too bad. Like, well, you win some, you lose some. And this is where the referee had to push him back right to the bottom right corner. This is where Cash Wheeler then grab on to John Moxley, because, of course, he would. They're both the legal men in the match. This is where he had him right in the middle of the ring. This is where he said, all right, Dax, it's about that time. This is where, which Dax Harwood, let's. And this is where he's like, okay, what I got for my arch knife edge chop rival that thinks he can do it better than me, to get to the fourth place list of Gunther's envy list. Again, this is where he Irish him to the top rope. This is where top corner ropes. This is where he needs him right in the gut. This is where he had him in an abdominal stretch right onto Moxley. He starts squeezing his back, trying to twist his hips and his side and his torso up like if he was a human pretzel. This is where he started grabbing on. This is where he started grabbing onto Cash Wheeler's hand, and this is where he started middle ropes, and he hit face first. This is where the right corner side. This is where the upper corner. This is where he started hitting a knife edge chop on the Moxley, making it into the sixth place list onto Gunther's envy list, because he did not appreciate that, especially how loud it was, considering. But it was not bad as then his brother Dax and John Moxley and Eddie Kingston, which Eddie Kingston's at number 1 and Bryan Danielson's at number 2, of course. But this is where Cash Wheeler then starts stepping onto the midsection of John Moxley, trying to crush the ribs. And this is where this is where he was under the ropes. This is where he was hanging on the rope. The referee's like, hey, that's enough. Y'all on the ropes. If you don't stop in the next 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, you're about to be disqualified. And this is where we go at 3. But John Moxley barely got a 2-second breather until Cash Wheeler tags in his brother Uncle Dax. This is where they hit like a slingshot, like a double slingshot where this head and torso first right into the under the bottom ropes. This is where he then Dax Harwood then hit John Moxley's face right onto the upper right corner. This is where it started hitting forearms right onto each other, which Gunther was like, "You better keep it that way, or I'm never gonna forget. Like when y'all ever come back to WWE, I'm gonna give you a reminder on what you did to me." And then this is where we got. This is where Dax Harwood, Irish whip right to the bottom left corner. This is where John Moxley hits a running clothesline like a runaway freight train. This is where Claudio Castagnoli is like, all right, I'm ready. I need left, I believe. Going to start hitting some left and right uppercuts back and forth like 10 times in a row at least. This is where Claudio Castagnoli start repeatedly hitting the same arm and the right arm like one. And the referee's like 1, 2, 3. This is where he tried to go for another European uppercut, but this is where Cass will try to boot him, but I believe it backfired because he got hit anyways, or it was a dud. This is where Claudio got go for the Claudio swing after this, but this is where this is where Dax Harwood's tag team brother, but this is where Cass Wheeler flips out and pushes him right into his brother Dax Harwood's way, kicks him right in the gut, try to go for a power bomb. This is where Claudio tried to go for a Kanoku driver, but this is where he got countered by got intercepted by Cass Wheeler. And this is where him and Dax Harwood then try to go for a double suplex as soon as Dax Harwood was off of Claudio, but Claudio flips out of it. This is where he picks him up in a double electric chair position and slammed him back first right into the middle of the canvas, which they probably barely got cushioned and shielded by the cushion. By time for the spin, like this is where he's like, but before I do that, this is where he hits this is where he runs up like to the left and then the right and then a big clothesline. This is where I try to go for a pin, but he only got a 2.999999999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being through. And yeah, let me tell you that was the number one thing that we had tonight on tonight's broadcast of AEW Dynamite was plenty of 2.9s that could last for centuries. Like it may be like maybe what's that reborn of this world, I should say. Like what's that what's the name of it? Yeah, you get the point. Like, yeah, this is where Claudio can't try to go for a neutralizer, but this is where Dax Harwood flips him right over with a body drop. This is where Dax Harwood went right to the left corner side. This is where he tried to charge at Claudio, but Claudio saw him come and try to go for a clothesline. Dax slightly ducked. This is where he tried to charge at John Moxley, but he gets instantly kicked right to the gut by John Moxley. This is where he tried to go for a pile driver for Claudio Castagnoli, doing a shove right onto Dax Harwood's legs, which made him did a double force of an impact of hitting right in bare bald head right into the concrete floor. No offense to Uncle Dax Harwood. Hopefully you're not offended, just being realistic here. But this is where Cash Will was like, how's this fair when you let Claudio Castagnoli help John, or how's it fair or John Moxley helping Claudio Castagnoli doing a double pile driver right onto my brother Dax, and he's no longer the legal man. This is where the referee's like, hey, calm down, like I'm getting everything control. And this is where Cash Will's like, it don't seem like it like usual, like you just let things happen for heels to get the advantage, and this is where and then this is where we got Moxley. This is where he got him. This is where they're doing a beating on the poor Dax. This is where John Moxley then go for an armbar right onto Dax Harwood as soon as he tags in Claudio Castagnoli. This is where he did a stomp right onto his arm. This is where he put him right in the sleeper. This is where we got this is where he tags John Moxley back, and they had another double team. This is where John Moxley tried to go for a pinfall, but you know the rules. It's gonna get a 1-2 ooh. Like I said, that was plenty of. This is where we got John Moxley and Dax Harwood right on top rope, and John Moxley tried to go for the top. This is where he tried to go where Claudio came in. This is where Dax Harwood tried to go for a crossbody again, but he gets stopped by Claudio hitting a big European uppercut, sends him onto the outside on the left left corner of the ringside area. This is where he did attacks with a single axe handle right into the back of Dax Harwood. This is where he got him an electric chair right off of Moxley off the top rope in the upper left corner side. And this is where they try to go for an electric chair doomsday maneuver. This is where Dax Harwood pushes him, like when he flipped right out of him, like from behind, and pushes him right through left shoulder first, right into the steel ring post, which made Jon Moxley trips over, hits partially right through his family jewels. I was like, it seems like that Jon Moxley and Renee Paquette's not going to have a little sibling anytime soon. Jon Moxley and Renee Paquette's daughter won't be having a younger sibling anytime soon. That's what I meant to say. Hope I corrected easily. But anyway, this is where we got Dax Harwood try to go for a suplex. This is where he did so, where Cash Wheeler then hit a diving splash right onto Moxley, right onto his midsection. This is where Claudio then tried to go for a Claudio swing, which it was guaranteed. Like, you know the rules. Like, well, this is the signature move, but yeah, it don't matter. But like I said before, and I'll say it again, like I'll gladly say it anytime. This is where they start hitting this Claudio swing right around, like about, I'll say nearly 20 times, maybe about near 15, which they were spinning them around. Like this is where, I think it was 10 because Jon Moxley had a drop kick like if he was Tyson Kidd when Claudio was still Cesaro and he was the tag team champ with Tyson Kidd in 2015. That's what they did a swing. This is where Jon Moxley hit the drop kick. This is where he pins Dax Harwood, but this is where Dax Harwood kicks out at 2.8. Jon Moxley was like, really? Like, what the hell? Like, how did he kick out of that? We're getting spinned like about nearly a dozen times. Like, die. This is where he started hitting elbow strikes right into the shoulder of Dax Harwood. This is where he tried to go for a sleeper right onto Dax. This is where he thought this was gonna put him away. This is where he got Castagnoli was there, like this to try to prevent Cash Wheeler of stopping us where they could sleeper right onto Dax Harwood. And this is where Claudio didn't go for a crossface, but this is where he flips him over, put him right on his back. This is where he slams him right onto Moxley to stop the submission hold, which his brother Dax Harwood, his brother Dax Harwood was free, like, and he can breathe. And then this is where the referee did his started his 10 count warning of getting back up. This is where Dax Harwood and Jon Moxley started nailing some forearms and right fists right into each other's face until Dax Harwood was like, I had enough of this. He trips Jon Moxley over. This is where he tried to go for a sharpshooter, like his idols finishing maneuver, the Bret the Hitman Hart. This is where Claudio Castagnoli then try to stop Uncle Dax Harwood from successfully hitting the sharpshooter, but this is where Cash Wheeler tried to go for a German suplex when he had him in a back-to-belly position. This is where he elbows him, and this is where he boots Uncle Dax, but it seemed like he didn't even phased it a bit because he still had the sharpshooter on Moxley. Like, say, like, that's all you got, and this is where Cash Wheeler finally hit the German suplex with a couple of squeezes and squats, and this is where we got then the referee was like, do you want to do you submit, or are you trying to escape to Jon Moxley? Like, I'll never tap out. Like, this is where and then this is where Claudio Castagnoli got Cash Wheeler like right into a sharpshooter of his own. This is where he tried to lock it in on like right in. I'm not sure what that was gonna do, because if Jon Moxley taps out, even if Cash Wheeler taps out, he's not the legal man because you have to be the legal man. Both men have to be the legal man when you hit a submission move. And if the opponent taps out, then you win, or it has to be by pinfall. Like, that's what the point of the tag team match is. But this is where Claudio kept trying to do like a what's that, sharpshooter off? This is where they start slapping each other. This is where fans are clapping like, this is awesome. And I was like, yeah, this is absolutely awesome. I was like, if the 6-man tag team match doesn't deliver, I'll say this is definitely gonna get number one match of the night on my review video. But it nearly did if it hadn't been for the end, the finish, and for the main event match. But we're gonna get to that in just a moment. This is where they went to start slapping each other until Claudio tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where Dax Hart flips him over, and then this is where he hits him with this gory slam that looked like a backslide. This is where John Moxley tried to take advantage, tried to hit him with a crucifix roll up, but he only got him a 2.999999999 double jump mine 0.1 away from it. This is where John Moxley tried to go. This is where he tried to go for a sleeper hold. This is where Cass Wood was there to save the day. This is where they tried to go for a shatter machine, but it was a draw. I was like, you gotta be serious right now, or you gotta be joking, I should say. Are you serious? And you gotta be joking. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, like seriously, like they did. Like I should and I was thinking like I should have known like for them wrestling this long, like it's gonna turn into a draw, like a 20-minute versus Bryan Danielson match, and Adam Cole versus MJF, and even Swerve Strickland against Hangman Adam Page in a number one contenders match a few weeks ago. I was like now I'm gonna be thinking I'm gonna have I'm gonna think about have the time limit draw encounter, which is going to start today. But I'm on this draw. And this is where both the Blackpool Combat Club members and FTR did not let this time limit be a bother of them. It was like since this is a draw, like we might as well keep beating each other up. Like it don't even matter now. Like since we don't like each other, well in kayfabe of course. But this is where they start hitting. That's where security guards and referees had to break it up from when they're beating the living daylights out of each other. Like they just couldn't get enough. This is where they eventually got them broken up at one hand until Cass Wood got himself free. That's where he jumped up right onto both Claudio and John Moxley, start hitting punches back and forth, like right and left. Cass Wood tried to help him out with the fight. And then this is where, there was basically an endless fight right here, like more endless than this match. If there wasn't a time limit, it was probably like about in the next 2 hours. Like it probably would have taken the whole 2 hours of the show. Yeah, like by that time, like when they were grappling it out, going back and forth with each other, like if there wasn't no 20-minute time limit on the show for it being a limited amount of time on the show, like. If there wasn't, but my point is, if there was no time limit, it would have been on for the whole entire night, like for the whole show, like for the whole 2 hours of AEW Dynamite. But luckily that didn't happen because thanks to the limits, like of 20 minutes. But anyways, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts onto this tag team feud between the which backstage interview with Renee Paquette with Orange Cassidy, with her interview with Orange Cassidy saying like, unfortunately, his buddy Chuck Taylor is still not clear enough to compete, but he do have a match tonight. And she asked him the question, is he medically cleared to compete? This is where Orange Cassidy was like, well, I mean, he's like, I'm not sure about that. That all depends on my doctor right here, like right across the hall from us. Like, and this is where he was right across from them. This is where Renee Paquette hilariously turned around and asked him the question. This is where the doc, I believe it was Doc Sampson, I believe. Yeah. This is where he was like, well, unfortunately, he needs some minimum medical clearance. Like, so I'm not sure what to say. This is where Renee Paquette's like, I get you. So he's basically barely clear enough to he's basically not clear enough to compete. And this is where be barely, no matter if I'm clear or not, I'm just gonna head out to the ring. And then this is where he walked out and head right out to the ring. And he did have a match tonight, and it was against, I believe. But this is where Renee Paquette's like, this is absolutely insane, Doc. And this is where the doctor's like, well, like I guess this is healthy for him to do this. This is where we got this is where we have Orange, but this is where we do have the Orange Cassidy versus Mike Bennett match where Orange Cassidy's not waiting around. Before the referee can properly introduce Mike Bennett, this is where he's running up right towards Mike Bennett. This is where Mike Bennett tried to hit him with the championship. This is where Orange Cassidy hits the orange punch right onto Matt Taven, his tag partner, his Ring of Honor tag team champion partner, I should say. This is where we got But this is where we got, I believe, Kevin Kelly, in a backstage interview with the FTR. This is where he tried to ask them a couple of questions of this match between of their we want to talk about their match to the former AEW Tag Team Championships. And my apologies for stuttering right there, but anyways. That's where I asked him, they were a few seconds away from winning the match against John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. This is where Dax Harwood was yeah, this is where it's like, just because they think we drawed with them, they think like a week from the Sunday at AEW Revolution. This is where John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli start coming out there and try to charge at FTR. This is where the security guards had to hold him back. This is where Dax Harwood and Castagnoli was like, all right, like you want a second serving of a beat down. This is where he's like, we're more welcome to do so. This is where like come over here, like we want to, and this is where referees and security guards like, no, not here, how about we make this confirmed? Have a rematch, like perhaps at Revolution. And this is where FTR's like, that's what we've been. That's what we were just trying. That's what we told Kevin that we want at the upcoming pay per view. And this is where they start arguing at the Blackpool Combat Club. No, we're gonna win. Like, no, we lose. And this is where FTR's like, yeah, this is not the time, this is not the place, and we're not sure as hell not going to bow down to you when we face you at Revolution. And then I believe they confirmed this on tonight with Tony Khan announcing to the announcers that this in fact will be the tag team match at AEW Revolution. Even though it's not going to be for the tag team championship, because that's going to be Sting and Darby Allin's duties to defend their titles on Sting's final match, his retirement match to be exact, against the Young Bucks. But yeah, this is where we go back to the matches where we got Orange Cassidy into this fight with continuing this. I mean, that's where back to this recap of the match with Orange Cassidy and Mike Bennett, which I thought it was I would say third best match of the night, if I'm not mistaken. But this is where we got. This is where we got Orange Cassidy start stomping onto Mike Bennett, right onto the upper right corner. This is where referee had to hold him back so he won't get disqualified. This is where Mike Bennett hits a big right knuckle punch like if he was boxing. I was like, wow, hopefully he knows he's wrestling, not exactly boxing, even though they are in the ring, but it's a wrestling ring, not a boxing ring. But this is where Mike Bennett hit a knife-edge chop right onto the chest of the the lower left-hand corner. This is where he did the knife-edge chop right into the bottom right corner. This is where he Irish went from there to the diagonal corner in the upper left. This is where he bounced right back first. This is where Mike Bennett took off his shirt. Fans did not like that. They don't like this Boston native wrestler. This is where he's going for a suplex right onto Orange Cassidy. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where the referee counted 1, the referee counted 2, but this is where he kicks out at 2.99999. This is where he's like, do your damn job. And this is where the referee's like, I am doing my job. And you cannot tell me what to do. You're not Tony Khan. So you're not the guy that's writing my paychecks. So if I'm you, Mike Bennett, I'll be showing some respect to the officials like me. And this is where Mike Bennett's like, whatever. And this is where he starts stomping onto the face of Orange Cassidy, but I starts squeezing his face right into the turnbuckle. This is where it goes for a suplex. Afterwards, this is where he tries to go for a pin with Orange Cassidy, but you know the rule. Orange Cassidy's not going to lose. It'll be 2054 before he ever lose a match. This is where Mike Bennett tried to go for a forearm on the Orange Cassidy. I'm like you might as well give it up, because you're not going to be the longest reigning international champion in AEW history. But this is where he tried to go for a suplex right on the Orange Cassidy, but he flips up, hits a stunner right onto the Mike Bennett. This is where he dodges Mike Bennett right to the right corner side, go for a flying head scissors and DDT like he always do when he's making a comeback. This is where Orange Cassidy is like, man, my back is aching and killing me. This is where Orange Cassidy got his fist out from his orange pocket and knew he was about to hit his signature or finishing maneuver that he would never hit me, like when I ever make my AEW debut, the Orange Punch. But this is where Roderick Strong tried to distract Orange Cassidy, try getting in the ring, try to distract. He's like, he cannot do this to my best friend. Like that should be an illegal weapon that's on his hand. Like and this is where the referee's like his fist. Like, all right, security, take him out of here. Like he's not listening to me. Like I'm trying to tell him to get out of here because he's not a part of this match. And this is where Rod Strong's like, I am a part of this match. I'm representing the Undisputed Kingdom. And this is where the referee's like, it doesn't matter because like you're not in this match. Like so. Get the hell out of here and stay back there with both your leader. And then this is where Roderick Strong's like, no, I'm not gonna listen to no raggedy ass referee. And then this is where he's like, and I'm sure as hell I'm not gonna listen to no to a 10,000-year-old expired molded orange that's in the ring that's keep putting his hands in his pockets. And then this is where Orange Cassidy's like, oh, I mean these good old I'll say what they call like feelers, I should say. Yeah, these two little feelers, like they're gonna stay in my pockets as well, and it feels so nice and warm and cozy and fuzzy in here, like especially in a nice, decent winter Wednesday, like today. This is where the referees finally came out there to escort him back to his locker room to the remaining Undisputed Kingdom members. This is where. And then Roderick Strong's like, you can't do this to me. Like I'm part of this fight. And this is where the referee's like okay, yeah, it's time for you to go. Like, luckily we're not taking you to a special facility into a colorful room. Like in the colorful room. This is where they escorted him out of there. Finally, this is where the referee did not look. He was right behind. The referee did not see this. What's his name? Mike Bennett hit a right hand right into the family jewels. I was like, Orange Cassidy, it seems like he's not going to be starting a family regardless now. But, I mean, even if he didn't got punched down there, he probably that's where Mike Bennett was on his knee. This is where he tried to regain some stamina, like and then regain his breath. This is where he hits a sit-out pile driver. He thought it was it, but as soon as the referee tried to count the three, Orange Cassidy got the right hand and shoulder up at 2.9999999999999 minus 0.1 away from being three. Or if not quadruplets of thousands of nines. But Mike Bennett cannot believe it because every time he punched his opponents right into the jewels, and hits that pile driver, it never gets kicked out. Which I believe Orange Cassidy broke that spell. This is where he rolls out of the ring. This is where Mike Bennett started doing his beatdown on the poor Orange Cassidy right onto the upper right corner barricade and then to the left corner side of the ringside area. After throwing him right to that barricade, this is where he throws him right back in the ring, try to go for a pin, but he still kicks out at 2.9999999, also known as quadruplets of nines at minus 0.1 away from three. This is where Mike Bennett took off his elbow pad, or I believe it was his elbow pad. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline. Orange Cassidy ducks. This is where he hits a super kick right after he tried to go for another running attack. This is where he hits a discus forearm while bouncing back from the left corner side ropes. This is where Mike Bennett then hit another discus forearm. Second strike was the charm, but not sure about what he was about to do next. And that's when we tried to go for the Razor's Edge powerbomb. But this is where Orange Cassidy hits the beach break right onto Mike Bennett. This is where he tried to go for a pin. Referee counted one, referee counted two, and he counted the three. And your winner of tonight's contest between the freshly squeezed fruit and the Undisputed Kingdom member and one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion Mike Bennett. And yeah, your winner of this match, freshly squeezed and current AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy. And yeah, even though I haven't seen him hit the orange punch because he was distracted with Roderick Strong when he had the chance to do that move. But still, I'm still the number one guy that cannot get hit with this move, not with this pretty face, of course. But yeah, this is where Matt Taven then started going right onto Orange Cassidy, started hitting right hands right into his face, right into his head. Like he started beating the living hell out of the poor fruit, and then started hitting lefts and rights, trying to beat the pulp out of him. Like I was like, I'm not sure if you're gonna be doing that anytime soon. He got some strong orange skin, like that's gonna keep the pulp in him for the next thousands of years from now. But But this is where back here and do some big down and do a preview what I'm going to do to him at Revolution for his championship. This is where Matt Taven then try to grab him around his head. This is where they try to do exactly what they did to poor Chuck Taylor and try to send him like and this is where Rock Shaw's like, I'm not going to, you know what? I'm not going to wait until 11 days from now to beat you for your international championship. This is where they try to go for a knee strike right onto Orange Cassidy. But luckily, Orange Cassidy had some backup, which I'm not sure if he even asked for it, but it was a returning star we haven't seen in months, and it was the Oklahoma hero himself, the two-time All-American Jake Hager coming out there to save Orange Cassidy and started bringing the beating to the Undisputed Kingdom. Like Matt Taven tried to go for a closeout, but this is where Jack Swagger picks him up right up in the air, hits a backflip. His signature move, that backflip spine buster, right into the ring. This is where he went up to the Mike Bennett. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline, but Jack Swagger ducks. Hits a big boot that sent him right onto the outside, which he was rolling right up to the upper side corner, and send him packing like to go back wherever they came from with the Undisputed Kingdom. This is where Jake Hager was like, "Who wants some? Like, come back in the ring. Like, come in here. Like, I'm not finished with you guys. Like, you think you all that? Like, thinking you can outnumber him? Like, how about do it with me? Someone with a big physique in the ring like me, or something like that. Like." This is where he picks up Orange Cassidy and handshaked him. He's like, "Are you okay, bro?" And this is where Orange Cassidy like, "Yeah, I think so. Like just a few bruises, thinking they're gonna get some orange juice out of me, but I'm still standing, like juiceless and popeless." I'd say, yeah. I'm not sure if I should have said that, which it kind of reminds me. It kind of not reminds me, more likely it rhymes with hopeless, even though he's never hopeless or popeless, of course. But yeah, this is where the Undisputed Kingdom was like, "You won't get away with this, Jake. Like you should have mind your business. Now you're a part of Undisputed Kingdom business," which it kind of sounds similar to the Judgment Day on Monday Night Raw on WWE. But this is where Jake Hager was like, "Yeah, people, like it's for you." And then this is where we got Renee Paquette in a backstage interview with his former teammate Angelo Parker, because this is where Renee Paquette was excited for both her colleagues, Angelo Parker. That's a cool hand, Angelo Parker and Ruby Soho, of finally going on a date, at least on a kayfabe date. Unfortunately, there was nothing leading up to a segment on their date with Saraya trying to get involved and trying to continue to talk her out of dating this guy. Like he could be some kind of creep in any way, But we probably will see that on AEW Rampage or Collision or even next week's Dynamite, perhaps. But hopefully there will be a segment where I'll be a very disappointed panda if they don't. But even though I'm not a fan of the romance, I just like to see the drama part of things, like to be sports entertained. But anyway, this is where Ruby Soho came in. This is where right after he was explaining on how they're finally going to go on a date, like saying it took me about like 2 months to do this. Like now finally I get to take her out for a drink, and this is where Ruby Soho came in. She was like, "Hey, like everybody," this is where Renee Paquette was like, "You know what? Like I should get out of here. I'm gonna leave this for you two." And it's like I'll talk, and she was like, "I'll talk to definitely you later, Ruby." This is where Ruby's like, "I'm gonna tell you how it goes later as well." This is where Renee Paquette's like, "All right, like Sophie." This is where they hold on to each other's arms to get ready to go. This is where Ruby Soho thought that was their ride with this huge white SUV parking right in front of them. This is where she was like, "Is that all right?" And this is where Angelo Parker's like, "No, I don't think so. Like, I got a lift right outside of the building." This is where she's like, "Oh," this is where they walk out of there. And guess who was in the white SUV? Like, it was none other than the Ring General, finally making his arrival to AEW, Gunther. Okay, I'm just kidding. No, it was his idol, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, coming in the ring, fixing his dress jacket up, like so he can make his arrival in the building, like for this week's AEW Dynamite. I thought he would have a few things to say about his longtime best friend and rival, Sting, like in his retirement match, and he's going to be there to support Stinger and the new AEW Tag Team Champion, along with his tag partner Darby Allin. But yeah, this is where we got the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Luckily, it wasn't Gunther, or else AEW would be doomed. And WWE, including the head of creative Triple H, would be absolutely happy that he sent in one of his guys to destroy the whole AEW roster and the company altogether with his missiles of chops to everybody. Okay, I'm just playing around right now, but seriously, let's continue on AEW's Dynamite while recapping Tony Schiavone introducing Daniel Garcia out in the ring. This is where he asked a couple of questions to get Daniel Garcia of possibly being the number one contender for the TNT Championship, even though his match with Adam Copeland last week was unfortunately interrupted by the leader of the Patriarch and reigning defending TNT champion, along with his two patriarchies, his pet dinosaur and his stepson, Kill Switch and Nick Wayne, which Daniel Garcia was calmly heated about. While he was trying to keep it calm, but he was still very angry of not getting to be a proper number one contender. And this is where Tony Schiavone was like, but however, you're going to get that number one contender spot with Christian Cage at AEW Revolution, which fans would cheer like, yay! And this is where he asked, like, congratulations, and how you feeling right now? This is where Daniel Garcia didn't say, like, I feel great, but I'm still mad, like that it was in a way that Christian Cage had to be in a no contest finish with them taking out Adam Copeland, and he would not be able to get a chance of trying to get this opportunity. But I feel very emotionally happy of me getting this spot, like, of course. But this is where fans were chanting, "You deserve it!" Clap, 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 like repeatedly. He absolutely does deserve it because he's been nothing but wins ever since he gets in the match. Like, he just gets shocking, even to guys that are like 10 times the size, like Shane Taylor and Brody King, like hitting them with those surprise roll-ups, like 1, 2, 3, like did he just won? Like, how in the hell, like, did he won? But I agree, he does deserve this opportunity. And I would say, like, if it hadn't been for the storyline with Adam Copeland and all, like whether he's gonna turn heel or join Christian Cage, or if there's some kind of outside interference, like for Christian Cage to retain, just to have Adam Copeland comes for the save when they try to outnumber Daniel Garcia like they did with him last week. Which I'll say, either way, I think Christian Cage is going to retain, unfortunately, even though as much as I would love to see Daniel Garcia becoming the new TNT championship because he deserves it. He's been winning, getting nothing but wins, and he keep doing that every single week until contest. Or not, no contest, I'll say a double DQ, I should say, yeah, because it was a contest. It ended in a double DQ with both of them attacking him and turning into a DQ draw, I would say. But this is where we got Daniel Garcia's like, yeah, hello, ladies and gentlemen, like, I appreciate your support. Like, and then, first of all, I thank you guys so much for saying that. Sometimes I feel like I do not deserve this moment. Like, but you guys remind me that I'm more than welcome of deserving this opportunity in this spotlight. And then he's like I was destined for great things, and like everybody always been telling me, like everybody to repeat that I'm gonna be great. Like a couple of even while I was in the lowest point of my career, they keep motivating me that this is gonna turn around for the better for you. Like and guess what? Like they were right. Like, and this is where fans were cheering. Like, and this was like sometimes I lose that confidence. Like and I really do. Like I really lost that confidence. Fans are like, boo, like, no, don't doubt that. And this is what Dave goes, I knew, like, going through all that, the 3 seconds that all I needed in order to get some success. Like, 3 seconds that all I need, like, in the content. And he's like, in that Continental Classic onto the win, Fighting for Pride, I got those 3 seconds. Fans are like, yes. Like, woohoo, like, And this was like I took full advantage of those 3 seconds. Like changed, and those 3 seconds changed my damn life. And this is where fans were like, yeah. And this is where he was like, and this would continue to say every single time I got down, y'all got to pick me back up. And then every single time I did, y'all, every time I get myself back up, y'all were there to support me that I can do this. I can get better. I can win win more matches. I can be an unbeatable figure. And then fans are like, yes, yes, and yes, which he is undefeated in 2024. And this is where Daniel Garcia is like, and I thank you guys for restoring that feeling. And this is where fans are like, yes, and we hope you win the TNT championship. I was like, hopefully that does be true. This is where fans will chanting Garcia. And this is where he told Adam Copeland right on the camera. He's like, and Adam Copeland, nobody couldn't tell who could have walked out there victorious in that match. But I have full confidence. If that match went on to any longer, I would have made you tap out of that Dragon Tamer. And then this is where fans are like, yeah, it's possible. If Adam Copeland will give in, but I mean, he probably would have made him pass out if anything, if he beat him by submission. But anyway, this is where Daniel Garcia. If I see you again, I'm gonna see you the next time you see me. I'm gonna hope, I'm gonna be I hope I see you again. But this time, next time you see me, I'll be holding that TNT title that your former brother or best friend or whatever you want to call him, when your time as a tag team at the other company, which he did not say that, say the part about the other company, and let alone saying is beating it by his brother, beating his brother or tag partner or whatever you want to call him. But yeah, he's got the next time we see face to face will be when he's TNT champion though. And this was that brings me to AEW Revolution. In Christian Cage, I have a message for you. You deceased father hating prick. I have a message for you that you come down here and listen to it for yourself. And before he can even finish by letting them calling him out, he just beat him to it by just coming out there anyways, because he did mention his name. And you know the wrestling rules. If you bring up somebody's name, especially too many times, they're going to eventually come out there, which the leader of Patriarch came out there with his TNT title and his new I believe his future wife and his new stepson and his pet dinosaur Killswitch, in the ring. This is where Christian Cage was that's enough people and cut my music. He's like, Adam, first of all, Adam Copeland will not have another chance of my TNT title, and ever again. Do you understand me? What city they were in Oklahoma? I think it was Tulsa. Do you understand me, Tulsa crowd? And fans are like, no, we can't hear you. We can't comprehend anything that's coming out of your mouth. And then this is where Adam Copeland's like Tulsa, and second of all, Tulsa, sit down, shut your mouth, and while I handle my business. I was wow, I guess they found themselves an MJF replacement in the heel side of things. And also, I'll say he's like a 50-year-old version of the former AEW world champion. But yeah, something just tells me MJF will come back. It's just that it will be probably anytime after AEW Double or Nothing night of the pay-per-view, the night of, I should say. But yeah, that's where Christian Cage was and third of all, Daniel Garcia, which I'll say one of the things he had to say about Daniel Garcia is that he pointed out that his father is no longer living, yet he sadly passed away, which I was I should have known he was going to do that was going to be the other reason why he would love to defend this title against Daniel Garcia. For the fact that he's a young, new-coming wrestling star, and his father sadly passed away, which he was picking fun of, like he did to what's his name, Jack Perry, and then later on it was Brian Pillman Jr. before he left to go to NXT, to go to WWE, I should say, and also he. And also, what's that? And who else he picked on? I'll say kind of what's his name too, Wardlow, but not that much. He was like his father wasn't famous anyway, so I'm not gonna be worried about wasting my breath, or I'm not gonna be wasting my time, wasting my breath like onto that old that old loser or whatever he called him, which sounds very extremely disrespectful. But anyways, that's where, yeah, and he also said about, and also Nick Wayne and his father, I should say, yeah, as well, like saying like his, I stood you wrong, like he was worse than I expected him to be, which now he's starting to respect him just because Nick Wayne decided to join him and choose him as his new father, along with his mother, just because she would do anything for her son. It sounds like that. Sounds like that crazy mentally challenged father from Ted that said he would never. In case if you haven't watched the movie, where she told Ted that you're going to be my son's teddy bear, and ever since his father told him no, that he cannot have a teddy bear, he promised, he vowed to never say no to his son ever, like if you ask him for anything. Which, yeah, obviously, of course, said saying no to a Snickers bar couldn't hurt every once in a while, for the fact that the kid was chubby. But that's a story for another video. That's a story for another video for another day. But it sounds very similar to what Nick Wayne's mother's doing with what's his name? With her son Nick Wayne. Yeah, Shayna Wayne, I should say. But this is where Christian Cage went on to say, he's like, and he was like, well, like, I'm sorry to interrupt you for your match with Adam Copeland, but you got to admit that it worked out in your favor. Like, didn't stand here as the number one contender for my TNT championship, like at Revolution. Fans are like, boo, like, it's all because of you in the most dishonest fashion. This is where Daniel Garcia's like, yeah, I know. Like, and I will get my retribution, and I will get that TNT championship by taking it away from this old ass crippled prehistoric caveman from 57,000 BC years ago on a Wednesday, of course. And this is where, and then this is where Christian Cage was like, yeah, you can say whatever you want, yeah, whatever you say, but I'm not here for no immature jokes. Like, I'm here to, even though they did not clearly say that. This is my version of it. But I'm gonna get to exactly what he said. This is where he said, like, as much as I would love to get in the ring with you and discuss business face to face, like, and maybe even wrestle one for this championship, like on tonight's Dynamite, like, but like I really don't think it should happen at but I don't think it should happen on tonight. And you know what? I don't think it should happen on AEW Revolution either. And fans are like, boo. And then this is where Dan Garcia's like, okay, like, that's fine. And then this is where Christian Cage started making some unnecessary excuses about how way too young and way too early this is for the former Ring of Honor Pure Champion. And I believe he's 23, but I'm not sure why I even mention this. But I was make sure to refer him in his resumes. But anyway, this is where Christian Cage was like, I don't think you're ready for this shot at this championship, but even for being a TNT championship, but it's the most prestigious championship that I had my hands on this title, and I don't think you're ready to be filling in the spot of being like a TNT championship contender. Like, you're easily distracted. Like, don't get me wrong, like, Dean, as much as the next part, like, as much as I like your dance moves, as much as the next person, like, but but that's not gonna cover. It's not gonna help get you a spot into my TNT championship match, or something like that. That's what he said. Like, it may be like fun and all, like, and you're having fun and you're getting yourself over as a personality. It's not gonna help you benefit off you of becoming making you the next and future AEW TNT champion, basically what he was saying. He was like, you just want to make these people smile. Like, this is wanting to make these fans entertain. Like, you just want to make them go a hoot, like, like, oh, Daniel Garcia is a great guy, wasn't he? And the fans like, that's because he is a great young guy. And this is where Christian Cage like I just cannot hear every single night, like when I go to bed at night, like right next to Shayna Wayne, like with on my mind, hearing fans saying like Daniel Garcia is the most unbeatable figure here in AEW, and 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 saying it like, and they're saying this and disrespecting me, disrespecting me by saying like he's better than the greatest TNT champion of all time, and fans are like yes, he is like better than you, like, and he could be a better champion than you as soon as he get this opportunity. This is where Cage is. This is where the fans are like, Garcia, and this is where he's like, keep it down there, or else I will do the concerto like I did to Adam Copeland last week. And he was like, and this is where the fans are like, yeah, I would like to see you do that. Like, and if you try, like, I can have you arrested and sue you for everything you have, including that TNT championship. Like, and this is where Christian Cage was like, I like to see you try to phone in 911, like, and see what I don't do. Fans are like, boo, like, and this is like, how you gonna do that to each and every one of us? There's 1,000 of us and only one of you. And this is where, and then this is where the Christian Cage is like, don't let the number advantage fool you. This is where, and this is where he's like, and as for you, Daniel Garcia, you know what these people do not know. And then this is where fans are like, you suck, you need to stop talking, you suck, and you need to stop talking repeatedly right onto the patriarch. And this is where Christian Cage is like, you know, this is the only one thing that people don't know, as I say, like that you had a very dark childhood. And this is where he finally started talking about his deceased father. Yes. Oh, sorry about that. I'll clean it up, dang it. Like, I just took him out. But yeah, this is where Christian Cage then. This is where then Christian Cage was like, you didn't have so many happy memories, Daniel, do you, about him? Like, you know, what his father's name is, what Christian Cage said, it was. He's like you had so many happy memories. Like, I have a question to you. Like, that's what he said. That's what his name is, Jackie Garcia. I want to ask you this: do you remember a Jackie Garcia in your childhood? Like for in a what he said, in Buffalo, New York. Two Baker Court. That's what it was. Two Baker Court in Buffalo, New York. And this was like, oh, bro, like he's bringing up my father, he's like, you better. And this is where Daniel Garcia was like, you better keep my father's name out your MFing mouth, or I'm gonna slap the absolute sugar on the iced tea out of your taste buds, like Will Smith did to Chris Rock. And this is where Christian Cage was like, and this is where he's like. And this is where he's like, and don't you remember a David Garcia, like as well, like, which I believe that was his father. My mistake. I believe Jackie Garcia is his mother, but his father, David Garcia, that's what his name is. Yeah, yeah. You also remember David Garcia in your childhood as well. No, and he's like, and this is where he then clearly stated that his father was DEAD, which I'm not sure why I spelled it out rather than just say it, which I'm not trying to disrespect nobody's father, but this is what came out of Christian's mouth, not mine, because I do not wish death upon nobody's father, even if they really are deceased, but that doesn't mean you start pooping upon their grave and just talking the mad sugar honey iced tea by saying that he's dead and he's not going to be around, which I was like, I should have known that they're going to lead us up to it. And I did not know Daniel Garcia's father sadly passed away, which I don't know what year specifically, like, did he, like, I'm not sure any resumes about that. I'm not sure if he was even a famous person. So I'm not sure what to say about this, but only just Christian Cage's love poking fun on young wrestlers' father being sadly dead, like, which I'm not saying it in a cruel way. I'm saying it in a more like sensitive way, like try to be more sensitive and not be more cruel like Christian was on tonight's Dynamite. But this is where Daniel Garcia was very ticked off. He was like, "Oh, like you're going to be asking for, like, you're going to be seeing a totally different Daniel Garcia at a week from this Saturday, Christian, and you're going to definitely see me as TNT champ. Yeah, I'm going to dedicate this match to my father, like, or my dad, I should say, the better term to use, like, is like, and dedicated in this match, and I'm gonna show Christian Cage that you should never poke fun at dead fathers ever again." And this is where Christian Cage was like, and he's like, this is where he's like, I'm gonna walk in there in the ring at AEW Revolution as TNT champion, raising my hands up with this championship, like, and I'm going to defeat you and raise my hand held high when I successfully retain this TNT championship, like, and defeating you and dedicating this moment to your late great father, David Garcia, like, and then he was like, and I'm gonna prove it to you right here, right now, by saying, like, that your father really wasn't a great man, was he? And this is where fans are booing louder than they were, like, when he first got in the arena on the stage. Like, if he was Dominic Mysterio, which I'll say he's the Dominic Mysterio, like the older version of Dominic Mysterio of AEW, I should say, with him getting some fans booing reactions along with Don Callis, even though he called him a carny piece of sugar honey iced tea and not the sweet iced refreshing kind, like the one that's the initials, like, that stand for sugar honey iced tea. But anyway, this is where Christian Cage was like, this is where he started making fun of Daniel Garcia's dad, David Garcia, saying he was a loser alcoholic, wasn't he? Like, he did, like, and he was a deadbeat father, wasn't he? And this is where he's like, and I don't want to hurt you, Daniel. Like, I want to help you out and join my family. You could be my next, you could be my next stepson. I'm gonna make sure that you could be a more mature, and you realize your full potential. Like, in that Revolution, Daniel, I don't want to be your opponent. Like, I want to be your father. I was like, what the hell? It's already bad enough that you're claiming that you're Nick Wayne's father, his new father, his stepfather, even, because of him making fun of his father, Buddy Wayne, and he was not much of a great independent wrestler before he passed away. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on this comment of Christian Cage getting more sick and twisted and crazy than he ever was before as a heel combined. Like, he may have been conniving and arrogant in the past playing the heel, whether if he was in WWE or whatever company he was, but he's gone a bit too far. Like, even for him, like, especially for claiming that he's gonna be the new father of the young guys. But this is where Daniel Garcia was like, you better not speak about my father ever again. Since you're gonna talk about, and he's like, and also, since you want to talk about dead father so much, since you want to talk about, like, he was like, and this is where he was like, since you want to talk about like dead people in general so much, how about I put you in the grave right next to them, and this is where he started taking off his jacket. This is where he had his white beater on, aka his white tank top. He was like, come on, I don't care if it's the three of y'all coming out there. This is where Christian Cage nodded at Nick Wayne when he stared at him right into his left corner. This is where Nick Wayne took off his jacket. This is where he started running right towards the ring. This is where he started brawling in the ring. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline, but Daniel Garcia ducks. This is where he started. He trips him right over. This is where he tried to go for the Dragon Tamer right in the middle of the ring. He's like, "This is gonna be you." Like, well, I'm doing to your stepson. Like, see you in 11 days. Like, you crooked old man. Like like this is where he starts squeezing his back. This is like, you can be next. Like you prehistoric prick. And this is where this is where Daniel Garcia's new dad, I should say, like, or should I say his mentor dad, I should rephrase that, Daddy Magic Matt Menard, the magical father, or should I say the magical godfather. That sounds like a better term. Is magical godfather Matt Menard hits a chair right into the back of Kill Switch and start bamming him with the chairs, like boom, boom. Like, if you're gonna pick on my magical godson, like, you got to go through me first. This is where he started hitting chairs. This is where he passed the chair to Daniel Garcia. He's like you want to fight us? Like you want to fight Daniel? You have to go through me to get to him. Which I think that they're going to have Christian Cage wrestle Matt Menard, whether if it's at Collision or next week's AEW Dynamite on the Go Home show, wherever they're going to have their match at. Like, we're probably going to see that. But this is where they were pointing at him. It was like, yeah, like, you better stay away, like, or else you're going to be sorry. Like, and no, like, your days is making fun of young. Like, and this is where Matt Menard's like, yeah, like, your days is as a young. Of trying to antagonize young guys like Danny, like spotters, deceased spotters alone, them in their sadly passing, end your reign as the patriarch and your TNT title reign for good and once and for all. And this is where they walked out of the ring. I mean, not the ring, the arena, more like they ran out of there. This is where we got a backstage a backstage interview with the remarkable Renee Paquette, with the three guys that are going to be in of AEW Dynamite, which Hangman Adam Page started by saying, like, Hangman Adam Page started delusionally blaming RVD, like, and I was like, why are you blaming the ECW legend like that, like? What did he do for you to be scolding him? This is where he's with him saying, like if you only beaten Swerve Strickland in that hardcore championship match, we wouldn't be in this mess. Like, I would be the number one contender for that AEW World Championship, which I believe he's starting to slowly but surely and starting to turn into a heel and go into the dark side, while Swerve Strickland's vice versa, with him getting over and being liked by the fans, like with the fans wanting Swerve Strickland to become the AEW World Champion. But that's only if he can beat both Hangman and Joe at AEW Revolution, which is a week from this Sunday. But yeah, this is where then Hangman Adam Page went up to the cameras this is where he was like, but that's not the point right now. Like, the point is, we need to get the stuff to go together and come up with a plan, a foolproof plan to defeat the three guys that we hate the most. And this is where Raw RVD was like, and this is where he was like for the record, like if it hadn't been for me being there, like I wouldn't. And for the record, like if I hadn't been there, like you wouldn't be having this opportunity moment of becoming AEW World Champion, in that spot, of course. Like that, what RVD was explaining, like he's like don't bite the hand that feeds you, when he was trying to help you out, trying to eliminate Swerve Strickland, even though he was unsuccessful. But it's just Swerve Strickland is unquestionably talented enough to defeat him. But excuse me for a second.
Oh, I know. So Louis want me to tell you, because I think we can run a store and figure out if we're going to cook something or we're going to pick something up.
Okay, no problem.
I'm just letting you know. So you
Sorry about that. I thought
you're going to step in it.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, thank you for the warning, both you and Grace. Yeah. But yeah, I understand why he used the bathroom anyway. I took him out and he did both, like back to back.
I know.
And he got some bowels issues.
And she had put her body out. Do you pay any rent here?
Exactly.
Is this your house? No, it ain't.
Mm-hmm.
It's your motherfucking name on the lease.
Like
no,
she didn't pay a dime in the bills.
Exactly.
But what does she think she has to say?
She don't have no motherfucking say here.
That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, just say.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. See, yeah, see you in just a minute. Yeah. But this where then Hangman had Page started barking back at RVD when he was like I'm the one that did you a favor in the first place, so don't be start scolding me like Mr. Hangman or Page or whatever you want to call it. This is where Hangman had Page was like, hey, this is some serious sugar honey iced tea. My shot at my name is on the line when I become AEW World Champion. Like I have a chance tonight. Like before Revolution, the Hurt Swerve Strickland, and that's what we're gonna do tonight. That's gonna play. But we're gonna have to, and that's our plan. We need to stick to it. I know Hook is already motivated of winning this match. Like this is just another submission to him. And this is where all right, let's go, guys. And this is where all right, let's go. Like we need without any more questions. And this is where what's his name? RVD or Rob Van Dam, whatever you want to call him, started shrugging his arms like to Hook. He was like, okay, like I guess whatever he says, and this is where he does a fist bump to Hook, and they got out of the backstage interview booth. This is where we got Thomas Tony Storm coming in there in the ring. She was getting ready for her match, which she faced off against, who was it? It was an AEW enhancement talent named Sydney Whitnell, Sydney Whitnell, yeah, that's what her name is. But this is where she hits a big knuckle punch right into her face, which she landed right onto the bottom turnbuckle in the upper right corner. This is where she hits a running hip attack or sweet cheek music, whatever Thomas Tony Storm calls it. This is where the fans are cheering for her because she's unusually over right now. This is where even Mariah May was so fascinating what she was doing, even just by hitting a couple of moves like that. This is where Mariah May's like, ain't she the greatest? Like, yeah. This is where fans are agreeing. This is where Thomas Tony Storm Irish whip right to the upper left corner. This is where she hits a fine splashing clothesline. This is where she started hitting some stomps right onto her. This is where she picks him back up. This is where she hits a running bulldog right onto what's her name? Sydney. Was it Sineo, I believe her name is. But yeah, this is where Thomas Tony Storm was like, yeah, ain't I the greatest? Like, and I always will be. But this is where Sydney hits a jawbreaker right onto the Thomas Tony Storm. This is where she trips her right over, face first right onto the turnbuckle. This is where she hits a running hip attack again. Like this time it's done it. Like, and this was the second time was the charm. She was double lucky without having any two-leaf clover of luck, because this was a squash match, not like championship competition. This is where Thomas Tony Storm then drags Sydney. This is where she hits Storm 0, 1, 2, 3. But no, Thomas Tony Storm's like, nope, like not just yet. Like, and this is where she tried to do a different strategy to end Sydney, like in this match, by grabbing on her arm, doing the arm bar like her former longtime best friend Deonna Purrazzo would do it, like by grabbing tap out Sydney. Like, and this is where she does the arm bar, but that the Venus de Mar, her version, that's what it's called, which she grabbed both of her arms and started twisting it by grabbing her hands over it, by putting her hands together over it, and just start squeezing it tap out, Sydney. This is where she had nowhere else to go. She tapped out. This is where Thomas Tony Storm won the match. This is where she started doing her bows and started doing her poses, like saying thank you, and showing her appreciation to the crowd of cheering her on. Which is where she spins around, exit the ring from the right hand side ropes, and this is where she landed right onto the arms of Luther. And this is where they were about to head out back into their locker rooms. But this is where we got Deonna Purrazzo coming, and this is where she what's that? And this is where Deonna Purrazzo then said, like, Yeah, like as soon as I done beating Madison Rain tonight, I'm still gonna keep my focus on you, and I will be AEW Women's World Champion, which she did. Got into the ring. She did wrestle in this match with Madison Rain, which was a pretty impressive match, and I kind of got off the track. I'll say the Thomas Tony Storm match deserves the fourth match of the night, and I'll say Deonna Purrazzo gets fifth. Not because it was horrible, it's just that we had some other good matches as well, like Orange Cassidy versus Mike Bennett, and we also had FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club, and we got Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, and Brian Cage taking on Hook, Rob Van Dam, and for a second, I need to remember something. But yeah, anyways, back to the review. This is where we got this is where Deonna Purrazzo and Madison Rain was going at it with each other. And I was like, when's the last time we saw Madison Rain? Like, I think she's been exclusively on Ring of Honor as of late, but how come we don't see her much often, not even at least on AEW Rampage? But yeah, I guess my own guess is better than myself and you guys' guess, I guess. What's your thoughts on Madison Rain as of late? But this is where we got Deonna Purrazzo go for a flying clothesline after they start hitting strikes on each other. This is where the referees start doing the 5 seconds of the 10-second warning count. But like if none of them will get up by the count of 10, then there will be a double count out draw inside the ring. This is where both women got back up. This is where they start doing those kicks right onto each other. This is where Deonna Purrazzo will go for a clothesline right to Madison Rain. This is where she kicks her on the gut. This is where she goes for a knee right into the face. This is where she hits a side Russian leg sweep right onto Madison Rain. This is where she twists her arm into a wrist lock, flipping it right over, back and forth. This is where we got this is where they start hitting some forearms right into each other, start striking back and forth, boom, boom, boom. And this is where they start going for blows. Like this is where Deonna Purrazzo can start going for a blow of her own. This is where she go mighty speed and start hitting a forearm right to her face. This is where she tried to go for a Uranagi slam, but this is where Madison Rain start elbowing her right into her inside too. This is where Madison Rain then try to go for that move by putting her knee right on the back of her head and start swinging right back like Zack Ryder's old finishing maneuver. Looked like a right where she wanted. This is where she hits that flatliner, I should say, the slamming flatliner, which Madison Rain hit her head first right onto the canvas. This is where Deonna Purrazzo was like, what's going on here? Like, what happened? Like, this is where referee's like, I don't know. Like, it seemed like it don't look good. This is where Deonna Purrazzo was like, that's very sad, but still, I gotta finish the match. This is where she tried to spin her arm around, which I'm not sure why she did that. Like, she's not gonna use this submission, but she did put her in an ankle lock, and this is where Madison Rain did not have nowhere else to go. She had to tap out, and your winner of this match by submission as well, Deonna Purrazzo. And what are your thoughts on this match, along with Thomas Tony Storm against that Sydney girl? Let me know in the comments down below. And who thinks is going to walk out of AEW Revolution as the All Elite Wrestling Women's Champion? I'll say whoever's going to win, they're probably going to have to worry about a certain CEO making her AEW debut. Like if she gets that Monet, like and makes that big business. But on either AEW Double or Nothing or even AEW All Out, which that's a money marquee match. That's a money marquee match like that could possibly main event AEW All In or All Out, which I think it should be All Out. Or All In, I mean, no, at Wembley Stadium, if you ask me, if you want my honest opinion. But, yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me on this or not. But yeah, that's But this is where we got. But before we move on to the next segment, this is where Thomas Tony Storm attacked Deonna Purrazzo with Thomas Tony Storm trying to attack, ambush, or should I say, ambush Deonna Purrazzo with a clothesline. But this is where Deonna Purrazzo ducks and hits that pump kick right into her face, which he went flat right into the canvas. This is where Madison Rain was like, "Hey, you can't do that to my boss." And this is where Deonna Purrazzo, "Oh yes, I can. I made her. Now I can break her now." And then this is where. This is where Thomas Storm took advantage of this distraction. This is where she tripped her over. This is where she got her in the ankle lock and trying to make Deonna Purrazzo tap out by bending her left knee back. And this is where Deonna Purrazzo like, let go. I'm not tapping. Like, let go. You might as well just let go. Like, you're not making no point. It's not no official match. There's no reason of doing this. Like, let go. This is where Thomas Storm was like, but I'm only trying to do a preview. Only doing that's a preview. Like, so when we get ready for our match, we can have a close-up of on what to expect from the Timeless One. And heads up and tits out. Or I just said that, but I regret saying that now. Regardless, either way, on my side of things and YouTube side of things, which I'm probably going to get some kind of a warning of saying that. And this is where she's trying to make her tap out. This is where she's like, like let go. And this is where the referee was like, I can't touch her, like, but you can, Luther. Get in this ring and get her off of her. Like, she's about to break her leg. Like, let go. Like, this is where the referee had no choice but to pull her right off her, or at least Luther to grab onto her and go back to her locker room, which they did, which that's what happened. And yeah, let me know in the comments who's gonna win. Whoever wins, I think they're gonna. But yeah, before they left and went to the, this is where Thomas Storm grabs a lipstick out of her pocket, if you can consider if she even have a pocket in her ring gear. This is where she started rubbing her lipstick right around her lips like a crazy, I'll say crazy serial killing actress. If you could describe her as this, like when she putting her makeup on wildly and in at an insane manner, like so going back for like, yes, like it's gonna be you. Rub it all over your face when I win, and start rubbing all over your lips, all over your eyes and your nose and anywhere else in your face. Here's where Deonna Purrazzo's like, you're not, I know you're not, but because I'm gonna be rubbing that lipstick right there and right up where it don't shine too, because you're not going to humiliate me like you're doing to your damn self. And I'm going to bring back the old Toni Storm when I become AEW Women's Champ. This is where she starts staring at her by hanging onto the rope. Even though I'm not sure why I should be jokingly shown by translating to their facial expression, like on what they're saying, like which I think is very silly. I believe perhaps too silly. But let me know in the comments below if you like this, of me translating the facial expressions, what the wrestlers are looking at to each other's, looking at each other, like respectively, like what they think of them, like of their laughter before their big time match at their pay-per-view. But let's move on to the next wrestling news. This is where we got a backstage interview with Darby Allin. I'm not backstage, a backstage promo with Darby Allin in a very reddish, dark reddish room, saying like, and this is where he was like yeah, like there's some objects and some material, very valuable things that we want to collect, and like you think that, and again, it might define us, but in reality, it don't mean a single thing to us, like and. We've been looking at some photos. Me and Sting been looking at the photos today. Like, and this is where he was like, and Sting, like before I start showing some photos, it's okay if I do show them to the world out here. That's to the AEW fans of the photos of the Young Bucks. And this is where or say whatever he said, like the photos of the Young Bucks. And this is where Sting was like, you're more than welcome. Like you can go and show them. Like there's no secret. And this is where Darby Allin's like, I got something for you. This is where he showed the photos of the Young Bucks when they were like, I believe they were like elementary age, if not preteens. This is where there's like, I got the pictures right here of Nicholas and Matthew, like, and he's like, and this is you two with you taking a picture with Sting and his two sons, like Aaron and Stevens, I believe his name are. He's like, yeah, right. Like, I want you to look at these photos, which there were photos of Sting back in his WCW days. Garen and Steven, it's Garen and Steven. Yeah, like you remember them too, right? Like, of course you do, guys. Like they were about the same age as you when you were kids, like what, like y'all, like they were younger than the kids that y'all probably have right now, like right. And this where he's like, if you consider having kids, like, and he's like, and that's the only. And he's like, that's the only thing that matters between like me and Sting. Yeah, we are like family. Yeah, we may not be physically like in blood related, like father and son, or he's like an uncle that I hardly had. Like, and I'm the nephew of his. Like, but he's like, I. But this is where Sting. This is where he gave back to Sting. This is where Sting was like, and he's like, and yeah, I should know because for all the years as a pro wrestler, like I'm best with mine, like in my own flesh and blood, like until like you two young bucks, like lots going on to be honest, like in my own personal life, like in the last couple of weeks, and this is this is the Bucks right here, like a photo, like in it, like it's 7 days ago. It felt like 7 days ago. So like another family, like that that my father just sadly passed away recently, which I'll say I want to give my huge condolences. I'll say to both Daniel Garcia and Sting for losing their fathers at this sad and heartbreaking time. And also, yeah, make sure just don't tell Christian Cage, Sting, the next time when you announce this. Like, well, even though I didn't specifically tell this to the Christian Cage, just be careful saying it right into a public camera, and like for Christian Cage to discover and say, I couldn't help but notice that your father sadly passed away, which yeah, that was none of Christian Cage's business. He needs to stop being an instigator when it comes to fathers sadly passing at a very whether if they're getting older or young or at a way too young age of even leaving the earth whatsoever. But yeah, I want to give my seriously give me I want to give my condolences, even though I am being serious. But yeah, but also I want to continue to give my condolences. Like I forgot to say that about Daniel Garcia, even though it was when he was at a young age, but I thought I might say that anyways to be more supportive, like if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is where we got Sting was like, yeah, like he was like Sting, like he was like not Sting, he was like Sting was saying like yeah, my father was like a hero to me, like alone. Like he taught me right. Like and seeing him gone now is very sad. The like it's very like it makes me sad to think about, and it makes me more sad, and I'll say not more sad. I'll say more likely emotional that thinking about this, and it just has me thinking about my own mentality that I used to think of. I was so but I thought of it like in a more arrogant manner, like so do time to time. I thought I was invincible, and then I could do this for like I thought I could do this for a lifetime, but time catches on, like what I soon need to realize, like it definitely catches up to everyone, and then it got me definitely for sure. Like just look at my age, like I am not invincible, obviously, like. But one thing for sure I do know, like that everything that I have like left in me, like is like I'm gonna bring into revolution that I never brought in decades. That I'm gonna bring it to you face to face, young bucks. Like 11 days from now, and March 3rd, like have a good fight on your hands. And this is where fans are like, yeah, it's like you tell Sting and this is gonna be the fight of your life. When he's staring dead, cold, serious. This is where he turns back around. He's like, all right, Darby, let's go. Here's where Darby I was like, yeah, see you at Revolution, if not sooner. Like he always would say. But it's I don't think it's gonna be any. I don't think it's gonna be just at Revolution. I think we're gonna see him at least one more time. What if it's next week's? What if it's gonna be next week on Dynamite or next week's Collision? What if it's gonna be the Go Home show? Like they're gonna see them one more time until they see him. But the point is, they're gonna see them there regardless, whether if they see each other or not. So I guess that makes sense in a way. This is where we got like it was supposed to be an in-ring interview with Tony Schiavone with Wardlow, which he just stepped in. This was like, give me the damn microphone and move it, old man. I was like, wow, that was pretty rude. Like, you just gonna disrespect poor Schiavone like that? Like, are you serious? And this is where Wardlow's like, because 2 years ago I had I had thousands and thousands. I was like, hopefully this is not a bootleg version of a certain Brahma Bull and People's Champ that used to say that, but now he's not going to say that because they all turned on him as Cody Crybabies. I can't say the other word because I'm trying to stay as PG as much as I can, even though this show is not a PG product rather than a TV-14. But anyway, this is where Wardlow's like, the people chanting my name, like city after city after city, in a manner that hasn't been heard of, like, or seen in decades. And he's like, I was the next big thing, which he was bringing. Yeah, The Rock and Brock Lesnar wasn't the only guys that he was referencing on the promo, because he also referenced the American Nightmare and also a certain former real world heavyweight champion that suffered a recent injury from a certain Royal Rumble match from a Scotsman, like that's going to be out of 7-8 months. Like, considering for the fact that it happened in January, not in February, of course. But this is where Wardlow was like the rocket that got strapped to my back, like, was put on so upside down, and then since I've been driven in into the ground, like, and screwed over and over and over again, like, and I'm getting very fed up about that. And then you think like that the one true, like, homegrown, like, day one, like, AEW original, like, megastar would have been the champion and a long time ago. You're like, but somehow, like, I never did receive an opportunity for the heavyweight title. Like, and people back there in the locker room need to be fired into the. That was a reference to Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland, because they're trying to fight each other of that spot, which they both got a number one contender spot against Samoa Joe's championship, which some tells me if there's going to be a new champion, it's definitely going to be the man that swerves when he drives with his African Prince manager, I guess you could call him. This is where he's like, and all those over those guys, and like, it should be me, like, the best in the world, and the best in the world that you call him, the real world heavyweight champion, that's not going to main event WrestleMania this year due to injuries, which he never did not say, but he referenced him saying like he beat his he claimed that he beat his ass, and he gave him an ass beating that he ever received in his whole entire career. And he's like, his body still falling apart just because of me. I was like, but Wardlow, even if that was the case, like, that wouldn't be the only reason. If that was, then he wouldn't have rejoined the Stanford-based company, like, over there in the other company, right? Which, yeah, it's obvious that he was exaggerating, of course. This is where he's like, and also, like, which would bring me to my former champion, the guy who's better than all of us, and I guess we know it. And fans like, yes, our scumbag, like, yay, like, you brought him up, or you just referenced him. And this is where Wardlow's like, that douchebag, the one that's your scumbag, you call, like your favorite man. And then he's like, but guess what I did to him? I squashed him, like, and beat him, like, when nobody ever did, like, in his career, like, before he even became the championship. And I'm the one that also was involved of him no longer being here. And yeah, he's been referencing, without giving no names on who is he referring to, which we already know, at least us hardcore IWC fans that knows who Wardlow's referring to, calling they're the best in the world, which is CM Punk. The guy that's better than us, and we know it, like, which is MJF, and took some shots at Cody Rhodes too. But this is where, he also referenced that his body's continuing to fall apart. Just ask Drew McIntyre, like, when he hit the Future Shock DDT, when he easily got a torn a triceps, which is in the other side, rather than the one specifically from what he has been suffering from his time. This is where he's like, and now let's bring in the big, smelly, fat Samoa, like the king of AEW.